Well, good evening, members of council, members of staff, for the 32 attendees that have logged on for our public meeting. Today's date, Thursday, January 25th. A little bit of a delay. There was a power outage here on the base area of Stephenville, but it came on about 10 minutes ago, so we're back in action. I'd like to recognize we have guests in our public gallery. Welcome to the Stephenville Town Council second meeting of 2024. So item number one, our land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge the town of Stephenville as the ancestral homeland of different populations of Indigenous people. We also acknowledge with respect the rich histories and cultures of the Beothuk, the Mi'kmaq, the Innu, and Inuit of the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. I would ask a member of council to approve the agenda as circulated.
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, second Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Approval of our previous minutes that were circulated by our town clerk. Be it resolved that the public meeting of council meeting dated January 11, 2024 be approved as circulated. I would ask a member of council to move. Moved by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Myra White. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Are there any matters arising from those minutes? No matter arising. We have no proclamations or delegations today. So I'm going to turn over to committee reports. I'll turn it over to our Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow for category 6.1.
Okay, that's the Finance Committee reports, and 6.1, the Finance Committee met on January 22nd, and the following items were recommended to council for approval. Item 1 is property tax. Be it resolved to write off property taxes in the amount of $44,208.46. I so move.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Laura Aylward. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Next, it's the item 2, water and sewer. Be it resolved to adjust water and sewer tax in the amount of $3,027.75. I so move.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Myra White. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item 3 is business tax. Be it resolved to write off business taxes in the amount of $1,108 and adjustments in the amount of $3,243.20. I so move.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Laura Aylward. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Next, item 4 is accounts payable, December 2023. Be it resolved to pay accounts payable for December 2023 in the amount of $214,175.83. I so move.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Myra White. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Aye.
carried.
Item 5 and 6, is that finance or?
Yeah, we.
Okay, under finance, okay. Item 5 is the municipal by-election. Be it resolved that the town of Stephenville will hold a municipal by-election on March 6th, 2024. As per the Municipal Elections Act, SNL 2001, as amended, section 13(1), the town clerk shall be the returning officer for an election held under this act. I so move.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Laura Aylward. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item 6 is a nomination period. Be it resolved in accordance with the provisions of section 14(2) of the Municipal Elections Act, SNL 2001, as amended, that the nomination of candidates will take place on February 5th and 6th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the town office. I so move.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Myra White. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
And item 7 is the Port Harmon Authority Limited and 69385 Newfoundland Labrador Incorporated. Be it resolved that the accrued balance for 2023 and prior for principal property tax, business tax, water and sewer taxes, and related interest estimated to be $415,263.90 as of April 2024 will be written off in consideration of $350,000 payment being made by March 31st, 2024 on accounts in the name of Port Harmon Authority Limited and 69385 Newfoundland Labrador Incorporated. I so move.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilman Marlowe. I'd just like to speak on that. The sale of the Port of Stephenville and associated lands was purchased by a new company, World Energy. The purchase was the shares of those companies, but it was negotiated between our tax department, our management, and approved by council to move forward that we would settle a $350,000 settlement to clear the taxes, so the new entity could move forward and a new tax regime would start from there. So this would be revenue that will come into our 2024 budget as extraordinary income for this fiscal year. And it goes to show that we have a good corporate citizen who purchased a port because they want to pay off $350,000 of back taxes from the former owners. So on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
And that's it for finance, unless something,
Nothing late, Jennifer? No.
okay.
Nope.
Okay, so I'm going to let you carry on, Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, also for planning and traffic.
I will do it.
Are you,
Yes.
you're good? with
Yes,
the
no
second?
numbers, no numbers.
Okay.
No, no.
Councilor Marlowe for planning and traffic 7.2.
Planning and Traffic Committee met on January 22nd, 2024, and the following items were recommended for council approval. A, 133 Carolina Avenue Indian Head Solutions Limited. Be it resolved to issue a permit to occupy the building, do minor interior renovations, and erect a sign on the property located at 133 Carolina Avenue, subject to compliance with all town regulations and approval of Service NL. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Laurel Aylward, all in favor?
Aye.
Item B, 43 West Street, Dynamic Occupational Health Services. Be it resolved to issue a permit to relocate the existing business to accommodate a medical clinic and an occupational health and safety testing center in the building located at 43 West Street, subject to compliance with all town regulations and approval of Service NL. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder.
Second.
Second, Deputy Mayor Susan Powell. Sometimes we have companies that actually move into buildings and are actually not compliant because they have not applied for their business permits. And this has been operating for a few months now. It should have came in earlier, but it was picked up by the Department of Permits. And but we have to stay on top of our companies, and compliance and permits are always required in the town of Stephenville. So on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carried.
Item C, 263 Carolina Avenue, Nixon Metals. Be it resolved to issue a permit to dig 5 boreholes on the property located at 263 Carolina Avenue to complete environmental assessments. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder.
Second.
Second, Deputy Mayor Susan Bell. Just like to speak, that's one of the things in Stephenville, whenever we issue permits on the base side of property. Being a former U.S. Air Force base, often some of the land will require first phase environmental approval, but then it'll get picked up that a second phase will be required. So with that hangar at the end of the ramp, before renovations can start with that, The company has to go through the environmental phases. They have to do the boreholes, get the sampling done, and before they get the green light from Service NL. So it's just a process, but sometimes it's a little slow. On that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
That's the last item.
Last item, nothing late, okay? Bylaws and regulations, nothing for today. Unfinished business. Anybody got anything? We do have, Councillor Tristan was unable to make our public meeting today. He passed on his regrets. I just want to make a note of that for the record. Number 10, new business. Anybody have anything?
Yes, I just wanted to say that I attended a meeting yesterday up at the Heavy Equipment School. It's called Spaces Shared. And I'm just going to read you a little bit of the blurb that they had on their bulletin. So it says that Spaces Shared is a home sharing technology platform that provides a place for students looking for safe and affordable housing and older adults interested in sharing their home to meet and match. And it's a fantastic idea. And they're hoping that in this town, they're going to be able to start this. And they are very adamant about how their program is being rolled out. And it's a lot of background that has to be done on both sides before someone moves into a home. So they have done their due diligence, and it seems like I think this would be a great idea for a lot of people.
Yeah, there's no doubt for students, for people requiring accommodations, it's a really good move to see this happening. And sometimes seniors may want a student because, it's company also. A lot of seniors are sometimes alone. We have roughly 3,000 homes in Stephenville. Most of those homes got 1, 2, 3 people in it. 50 years ago, most of them homes had 6 to 8 people in them. And I just noticed that the federal government is announcing a program for homeowners to receive subsidies to renovate basement apartments so that they can actually solve some of the homeless problems that we're having. Yeah. And the challenges with rental properties and so forth. So all those measures takes time, but hopefully it'll solve some of the woes when it comes to living spaces. So I want to thank you for that. Myra White, Councillor White. I got a couple of things I want to speak on. First of all, I'd like to also recognize that we have our fire chief and one of our fire captains in our audience today. We are very blessed in the town of Stephenville to have a full-time fire department supported by an auxiliary fire department. Stephenville has always been known as having a robust complement of fire department, from the building of the air base transitioning to the community back in 1966. We're also blessed. We have the Marine Institute training facility in Stephenville. We have airport fire equipment. We have residential fire equipment. And I have no doubt, as we build a hydrogen plant, fire suppression and teams of professional fire departments will be actually located at the site as that major industry moves forward. But I'd like to speak about the latest purchase that we received for our fire department. And let me clearly say that when we have a budgeted item that's in our budget, it's something that it's protocol of procedure when it comes to the procurement and the purchase of that equipment. So we purchased a new piece of equipment for our fire department. It's a rapid response Suburban that it has special equipment that is housed in that Suburban. It has the ability to take additional firefighters. It's designed for rapid response. It's part of the MOU requirement that we have with Emera because of the threat of emergency and danger to life at the substation in Bottom Brook. We've received funding through Emera to support our ability to respond. But when we have a professional fire department, in order for that professional fire department to do their job, they have to have the toolkit, they have to have the tools, they have to have the equipment. And when it comes to safety and standards, we do not, take that lightly. When we spec something, it is vetted through our fire chief and our department, and is vetted through upper management and vetted through council. So I just want to clearly say that this is a great addition to the town of Stephenville, great addition to our professional fire department. I'd like to give accolades to our fire chief and our full-time complement and our auxiliaries for showing the interest to continue to enhance Stephenville's fire department, because we are the best of the best. I just want to say that, guys.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to speak on is the provincial government, and this is going to be a little bit of a lengthy conversation, but I want to talk about air ambulance in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador, but also about the tender that's out for Heart Force One, which is a special air ambulance with a special team of health professionals that will pick up residents of Newfoundland and Labrador from Labrador in the island, take them to the health science for a procedure, and bring them back that day. But we got a problem. For some strange reason, some bureaucrat left Stephenville Airport out of the equations. So Wabush, Goose Bay, St. Anthony, Deer Lake, Gander are all in the equation to take people who need the work that's going to be required for them in St. John's. So when you think about it, in Newfoundland and Labrador, we have the busiest demand for just emergency air ambulance as it is. And that's for somebody that could be awaiting an emergency heart procedure, could be a vehicle accident with critical injured people. We have 100 to 150 air ambulances that come in and out of Stephenville every year. We're the busiest in the province. Our catchment area is significant, from Corner Brook right to Port aux Basques to Burgeo, Alamort, and so forth. Why is Stephenville so important to air ambulance? It's probably the most important airport in this province, outside of, I would say, Labrador airports. Because if you're on the island, you could actually get into a road ambulance and get to St. John's if you had to. Very challenging for our neighbors in Labrador. But in Stephenville, the airport is 5 minutes from a 24-hour emergency hospital with an ICU, which sustains life for critically injured people. Often when an air ambulance is scheduled in, sometimes there could be a delay. So for example, if that air ambulance was in Deer Lake, there's no hospital, there's no ICU in Deer Lake. They'd have to recover to Corner Brook. That's challenging. And sometimes airplanes break down. And there's a term in the aviation industry called AOG, aircraft on ground. And normally when that happens is on landing or engine startup. So we could have somebody from Alamort in Stephenville waiting to get to St. John's, and all of a sudden there's a weather delay or a mechanical delay. And 5 minutes next to the airport, you got the Sir Thomas Roddick 24-hour emergency hospital with an ICU to sustain life should it be required. The most critical thing too for Stephenville is when you look at the airports in the island, Gander's only 3.5 hours from St. John's. So if the flight didn't get in, you could be on an ambulance in 3.5 hours, you could be there. Road ambulance. Stephenville is the most important airport on the island. The airports in Labrador are very, very important. This is a great service. So we will write the Minister Abbott, Minister Osborne of Health and the Premier to ensure that that RFP gets edited and changed, and whoever the bureaucrat or whoever decided to put every single airport in Newfoundland on that RFP to provide hard force and leave out Stephenville should be removed from their office, from my perspective. When you think of what has happened, the residents of Stephenville, Port-au-Port, Isle of Mort, Robinsons, Codroy Valley, Port-aux-Basques, we deserve that service just like any other resident in this province. So we're going to send a strong message to our elected representatives to find out who dropped the ball. And you often hear the old adage, you can't fix stupid. Well, something stupid has happened and we're going to fix it. So we'll get the clerk to send a strong message. We'll get that drafted and hopefully we'll get a resolve to that issue. Okay.
Good job.
Thank you, Councillor Aylward.
I would have said the same myself.
Well, thank you.
Not as well, probably.
I would have ran out of steam. I was going to get you to kick in.
Oh, I couldn't
you know,
add too much to that, but yes, we need to get the minister on the line.
You
Yeah.
know, we are making such great moves in this province from a healthcare perspective. The new modeling of these collaborative care clinics, we're getting one built here in Stephenville. The healthcare accord and health services is doing a really good job. This Heart Force One is a phenomenal service to our residents. And here's what's also interesting. I believe the first piloted trial that took place with Heart Force One with a special ambulance geared up with professionals to take people in St. John's for procedures departed Stephenville because my daughter, who's an emergency room nurse, was selected to go as part of the transfer team. And to see that this tender is out there and Stephenville CYJT is not there is a travesty. So let's get on it.
That's right. Let's go.
Okay. Okay, anything else? No? Okay. Well,
Oh, wait, no,
Okay.
wait a minute. Just want to say that our hospital foundation is doing really well, and I said this before, but for the ears of someone that's online that didn't hear me say it, I've been the town representative for 30 years, 31 I'm into now, my 31st year. And I've been on the foundation board, like now that's the hospital foundation board, not the hospital health board. And I was chair since 2017 up until about 6 months ago. And I was glad that we recruited a new chair, Patty Hines, and she's doing really well. So she's chair and I'm vice chair. But I get calls from people sometimes and they say, well, you're on the hospital board. And I said, no, I'm on the hospital foundation board. So I get a good few calls like that. But just to let you know that I am on the foundation board and not the board members on the Eastern Health Board, which is a one board for the whole island. They have a lot of different people on that board, and as far as I know, there was Mr. Walters out of Corner Brook that was on the board for this area, and most of all the rest of them were someone from Grand Falls and Gander, but most of them were from St. John's and the Avalon Peninsula, so that makes up the hospital board. So. You know, it's a big difference between that and the foundation board. So I just wanted to bring that forward and say that we are doing well, you know.
yeah. Like
And
I
it
say,
seems
we've got We've got great volunteers, and we want to thank you for all you do there, Laura. So on that note, I'm going to ask the member of council to move that we adjourn the meeting. Moved
So
by
moved.
Councilor Myra White,
Second.
second, Councilor Laura Aylward, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Meeting adjourned. It is 12:55.
Good.